Do you want to get promoted? Well, in this video, you'll discover the proven strategies every project coordinator needs to sharpen their skills. Maybe you've been a project coordinator for a couple of years now. You know how to track tasks, keep everyone updated, and hold all the moving parts together. But lately, you probably started wondering, what's next? How do you move beyond just keeping things organized and start being seen as someone who is ready to lead? How do you position yourself as more than the project coordinator and start stepping into a bigger role? One that sets you apart and keeps you valuable, even in an uncertain economy. Hi, I'm Adriana Girdler, the creator of a practical online project management course built on real-world experience. I too was once a project coordinator. I understand the struggles of trying to break out of the support role and lead my own project. And boy, do I wish I had these tips. And make sure you stay with me to the end, because I'm going to talk about the single most important shift I see in people who successfully make the leap from support role to project manager. Why is thinking like a project manager key? If you want to move up, the first is shifting your mindset to where you're thinking like a project manager, not just someone who's tracking tasks, but someone who owns the outcome and leads the team towards success. Here's the key difference. As a project coordinator, your job is to keep the day-to-day organized and moving. You're tracking tasks, preparing reports, following up with team members, and making sure nothing falls through the cracks. Project manager, on the other hand, is responsible for the overall success of the project. They set the direction, define the goals, make the big decisions, and lead the team through challenges. They're accountable for delivering results and for keeping stakeholders confident and informed along the way. In simple terms, think of it as the project manager owns the strategy and the outcome. The project coordinator, that's you, owns the details and the execution. But here's the good news. Even while you're still officially a project coordinator, you can start showing up like a project manager. Now, how do you do that? First, look for opportunities to see the bigger picture. 2, anticipate some risks. 3, speak up with solutions, not just updates. And 4, start asking yourself, what would a project manager do here? And start doing that. The mindset shift is the foundation of everything else we're going to cover. And it's not just the key to moving up. It's one of the best ways to stay valuable even in an uncertain economy. Because the people who can lead projects and deliver results, I promise you, are always in demand. Focus on continuous learning. If you really want to accelerate your career and make sure you stay valuable, no matter what happens in the economy, keep learning. The workplace, well, it's changing fast, and project management is one of those skill sets that will always be in demand. Organizations will always need people who can do the following: organize work, lead teams, and deliver results, no matter what industry they're in. So don't stop at what you already know. Take the time to deepen your understanding of project management fundamentals. Learn more about leadership and communication, and get comfortable with the tools and frameworks that successful project managers use every day. That might mean asking your manager for stretch assignments, signing up for training, or even pursuing certifications when the time is right. And if you want a place to start, that's exactly why I created the Slay Project Management course. It's built to help you go beyond just keeping track of tasks and start leading projects with confidence, with practical tools, templates, and real-world guidance you can use right away. You'll also earn a project management specialist credential when you pass the final exam. And how great would that look on your resume? I'll link it below if you want to check it out. Before we jump into the next tip, if you're serious about future-proofing your career and being seen as more than just the project coordinator, make sure you grab my free guide with the 6 project management basics that every professional needs to set their projects up for success. You'll find the link below. Should you look for a mentor? When you're trying to make the move from project coordinator to project manager, well, sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. And that's why you need a real experienced project management mentor you can count on. Someone who's going to do the following: listen to you, give you some advice, and provide you guidance, not only with documents and processes, but with the challenges that come up around people and office politics. There's a lot to navigate as a project manager, and if you try to jump in without having a mentor to turn to, well, you may find yourself sinking. I see this every week in the questions that pop up with my coaching students. They come to me with multi-layered challenges, well, that involve personalities and office politics, all interwoven with project issues. As a mentor with experience, I help them break it down so complex problems become really manageable and they can see a clear path forward. This guidance helps them avoid making missteps that could actually harm their current position and future aspirations. When you don't know what you don't know, it's vital to learn from someone who's already been where you want to go. So find yourself a mentor and let them know you're interested in growing into a project management role. Make sure you meet with them on a regular basis and come prepared with questions. Ask for advice on specific situations and show them that you are serious about learning. Should every project coordinator work to build stakeholder trust? Well, at this stage in your career, the way you interact with stakeholders can make or break your reputation and your next opportunity. When you're just starting out as a project coordinator, it's enough to take notes, follow up on tasks, and keep things organized. But now that you've been doing that for a few years, stakeholders are likely starting to notice more than just what you do. They're noticing how you show up. The best way to stand out is to build trust. That means the following: show up to meetings prepared, understand what matters to each stakeholder, keep them informed about progress and risks without waiting to be asked, and really, really listen to their concerns and questions. When you can translate what you're hearing into clear next steps or solutions, they'll start seeing you as someone who can lead, not just follow. I've actually seen project coordinators move up because stakeholders started requesting them by name, simply because they knew they could count on them. And that kind of reputation isn't built by doing your task faster. It's built by making people feel confident that you're on top of things and looking out for their interests. Stakeholder trust is like currency. And once you've built it, it will open doors to bigger roles and more responsibility. Do you need to think strategically to get promoted as a project coordinator? Well, this is a good question. And one of the biggest differences between a good project coordinator and a great future project manager is how they think. Project coordinators focus on the details, which is important. But if you want to move up, well, you need to start showing that you can also see the bigger picture. That means understanding how your project fits into the organization goals and not just what task comes next. If a deadline slips, think beyond just rescheduling it. Ask yourself how it impacts the team, the customer, or the budget. When priorities change, don't just adjust your list. Make sure the changes still align with the business and what they're trying to achieve. Strategic thinking is what makes people notice you. It shows you're not just reacting, you're connecting the dots, anticipating issues, and helping the team stay aligned to what really matters. If you're not sure where to start, try asking more why questions in meetings. Why is this deliverable important? Why did the sponsor prioritize this over something else? The more you understand the context, well, the more you can contribute in a meaningful way, and the more you'll stand out as someone who is ready to step up to the next level. How to strengthen your communication skills. At this point in your career, well, you already know communication is important, but now it's time to level up how you communicate. Because how you deliver information can make just as big of an impression as what you say. You want to move beyond just passing along the updates or reporting facts. Start thinking about how you can make communication clearer, more focused, and more actionable for your audience. In meetings, summarize key points confidently and help keep discussions on track. When you're asked for a status update, don't just list everything you're working on. Highlight what's on schedule, what's at risk, and what decisions are needed. That kind of clarity shows you're thinking like a leader, not just a task tracker. And don't underestimate the power of presence. Speak up when you have insight to share, ask thoughtful questions, and make eye contact, yes, when presenting. People notice confidence, even if you don't feel it yet. Practicing this kind of presence will help build it. Good communication isn't just about keeping everyone informed. It's about inspiring confidence that you can handle more. And that's exactly the impression you want to leave. For more tips on how to improve your communication skills at work, well, check out my video on the topic. Go to the YouTube search bar, type in Adriana Girdler, communication skills. How to step up and take initiative. If you want to be seen as ready for more, don't wait to be asked. Start looking for ways to step up. At this stage in your career, you already know how projects run. You know the deadlines and deliverables and the players involved. Use that knowledge to spot gaps, solve problems, and volunteer for responsibilities that stretch you beyond your current role. If you see a recurring issue slowing the team down, offer to draft a process or checklist to fix it. The project manager seems overloaded. Ask if you can help them lead a smaller meeting and follow up with stakeholders or coordinate parts of the schedule. If you notice something heading off track, don't just flag the problem. Suggest a solution and explain how it helps keep things aligned to the bigger goal. The key here isn't to take over. It's to make yourself indispensable. Show that you understand the bigger picture, that you can anticipate needs, and that you care about the success of the whole project, not just your own tasks. I've seen project coordinators get promoted simply because they consistently made their manager's job easier and showed that they could already handle the kind of responsibilities a project manager takes on. Leaders notice the people who make their lives easier, and taking initiative in big ways and small is one of the fastest ways to build that kind of trust and move your career forward. Do you need to focus on great time management? Well, one of the biggest differences between someone who stays in a support role and someone who moves into leadership is how they manage their time and the team's time. As a project coordinator, you already have a lot on your plate: documents to update, people to follow up with, meetings to prep for, and deadlines to watch. But if you're not careful, it's easy to get buried in the details and lose sight of what really matters. So start prioritizing like a leader. Look at your task list, figure out what's urgent, what's important, and what can wait. And even delegate. It's not just your time that counts. Great project coordinators help the team manage their time too. If someone's falling behind, check in early and see if they need your help. If you notice a project manager getting pulled into too many directions, offer to take something off their plate. The ability to keep yourself organized, focused, and calm while helping others to do the same, well, let me tell you, sends a clear message that you're ready to handle bigger responsibilities. I've worked with organizations where the project coordinators were the ones keeping everyone on track, not by working longer hours, but by working smarter. And that's exactly what leaders notice. When you show that you can manage your own time effectively and help keep the team on track, you're already practicing one of the most important skills of a project manager. Risk awareness is key to your career success. If you want to be seen as ready for bigger responsibilities, start showing you can see what's coming, not just what's in front of you. One of the most valuable skills you can develop at this stage is risk awareness. And that's something that project managers are constantly thinking about. What might go wrong and how to prevent it and respond if it happens. As a project coordinator, you already know the details better than most. Use that knowledge to anticipate risks before they turn into problems. For example, if a team member is already overloaded, flag that it may delay their deliverable. If a key vendor hasn't confirmed yet, bring it up early. You don't have to solve every problem yourself. But when you're the one raising issues and suggesting solutions before others even take notice, people start seeing you as a leader. That ability to think ahead and keep the project on track is exactly what separates someone who can lead from someone who just follows instructions. And it's a skill that will serve you well in any role and in any economy. So if you've been waiting for someone to notice you're ready for more, stop waiting, start showing them you are ready. Every tip we've covered here will help you stand out, earn trust, and position yourself as a leader even before you have the PM title. And remember what I said at the start, the single most important shift I see in people who successfully make the leap from support to leadership is mindset. When you stop thinking of yourself as just the project coordinator and start thinking and acting like a project manager, everything else falls into place. Because the ability to lead projects, deliver results, and keep people aligned is a skill organizations will always need. So if you want to move up and future-proof your career at the same time, now's the time to make that shift. If you're ready to take it to the next step, I'll drop the link below where you can check out my Slave Project Management course. It's designed to help you build the skills and confidence to lead projects, no matter what your current title is. Also, watch this video next. It breaks down the project management fundamentals every new project manager needs to know, which will definitely be useful for you as a project coordinator looking to accelerate your career.